Hey, what's going on, guys? I know that there are a lot of Indian subscribers on this channel, and that's the reason why I decided to scrape Indian OLX right today in this video. So we will be scraping houses and apartments from OLX.in, and we would be extracting the price, some descriptions regarding the bedrooms and the bathroom number, square feet, all the stuff, this description, and where actually it is located, and the date. But like before going just straight away and extracting all of those CSS classes, it's better to basically try to find out how basically the site itself works. And see this load more button, what this means. So here is no pagination basically, and when I click this button it uploads some new results, which means that they has to be taken from somewhere, and that's already gives us an idea to just invoke our developer tools and have a look at the network tab, and there we will eventually see that every time actually we click this button, suddenly here this search category and all the stuff appears. And if we have a look at the headers, we'll see that here is the particular link that is responsible for both like locations and whatever parameters we set up here when we see the properties retrieved already. And also it's also about the pagination. So here you see that this is kind of page number 2. So if I just click enter here, it would return, oh, I'm sorry, HTTP. So it would just return a pure JSON response, which has all the reasonable information that we actually need. But here it's not really that easy to understand what exactly it offers to us. So we can simply go to this preview tab, and here within the data element, here within the data key, we have up to 20 elements basically, and each one has all the reasonable data we're looking for. So here is the description, created at, and here is the title for every single offer. Also we have the price, like in the raw, if this is a raw price, or the display price in just like this, as they kind of print this here on the site itself. So really all this stuff. And also if you just go to the locations result, we see that here is the basically where this particular offer regards to. Also we have the information regarding number of bedrooms and square feet, etc. So what I would like to offer in this video is actually, instead of just going straight ahead and scraping using the XPath selectors of CSS classes, and as far as we're supposed to do this using the Python scraping framework, we don't really need that, and we can just go straight ahead downloading the data from this API and kind of extract that, and that's kind of it. So if you're interested in this kind of project, let's actually start writing some code. So here I have a file called OLX_India.py in my current working directory, and also of course I have Python and Scrapy installed on my local system. So first I need to say import Scrapy, and then from scrapy.crawler import crawler process, and the crawler process is needed in order to run our spider from within the script, from within the Python, without using Scrapy specific command line instrument tools, which I personally don't really like. So let's specify the class. We call this OLX, and it would inherit from basic Scrapy spider like this. Okay, so the second thing to consider, we need to provide a name to our scraper, so let's call this OLX basically. And one little more thing to consider, so as far if you just let me duplicate this here, and if you just have a look at the robots.txt file here, which explains what we are welcome to do with this site and what we're not welcome really. So here see like API is disallowed, so that's the reason. So if you just go straight ahead without specifying the custom headers, it would probably block us and we'll eventually get banned. So in order to avoid that sort of behavior, we simply just use our user agent, just the same as here we can see in the headers. So request headers and the user agent. So I will use this one. This is my browser basically, so just to bear in mind. Okay, so let's basically move on and let's leave the class for a while and create a little driver for our scraper. So I can simply say here like run scraper or spider, doesn't matter. So here we need to create a process which would be the instance of crawler process like this, and and here we need to say process dot crawl and specify the particular spider that we're supposed to crawl with. So I say OLX here, and then simply saying process dot start. So this is kind of it. Now let's basically provide some data extraction logic. So we could have specified the start URLs if there wasn't a need to specify the custom headers, but as far as we have that, we would rather make use of what is known as start request method in the scraper, which is invoked first when the scraper starts being active. So, but before that, let me just specify headers here, which would be the type of Python dictionary, and here I can simply grab my user agent, so just copy here and paste. I enclose this stuff into the quotes, so to make sure this is the type of string like this. This is kind of it. Now I can say simply def start requests. Again, this is the scraper specific method name here, and it would take only the self instance as an argument, and that's it, just which is pretty standard to Python in general. And here we can simply yield scrapey.request, and okay, also we need to specify the URL we're supposed to use as the data source. So let me just quickly see that one. Okay, just copy the URL, and here I can say URL equals, and the only thing that I would suppose to be changing here is actually this page. Okay, so this page. So I'll probably just take this away for a while, and I will try to append. I'll try appending page at the very end of this particular URL. So if that works, just fine. If it's not, well, we'll be just merging this right into the URL itself. So here is our URL. So now the scraper request object in our particular case would take several arguments. So the very first one would be the URL, which would be equals to self.url. I'm using the this inner OLX class variable called URL. So here it is. And then we also need to specify the headers. That would be equal to self.headers, which are these guys here. Okay. And also we need to specify the callback function, because like scrape is doing requests asynchronously, which means that it needs to invoke some sort of a callback function as soon as it's done with the request. So here we will say self.parse. We didn't yet create this, but we'll do this just right in a moment here. So now I can say basically def parse, and okay, probably one little more thing to consider. I just want here in the URL, I just want to specify plus, let me just have a look at here. Okay, I'm just trying to specify and page equals to 0. Well, I'm not sure whether it works or not, so we'll find this out just right in a moment. So the parse method would take the self instance as always, and also the HTTP response. returned from this kind of request. So let's try simply to print our response to make sure, response text probably, so to make sure actually it works, whether it works or not. So I hold my breath and now just invoke a terminal in the current working directory and simply say Python 3 OLX India .py, okay, and run the stuff. Okay, so it seems like we did retrieve the response here, which is pretty nice. So now, just in order to avoid torturing the server, so it's generally a good practice not during the debugging process, not to make requests all along the way, but just instead to store a response to the local file and then use it to parse the file, and then basically you will connect the request when you will start crawling the entire range of the pages. So here we will simply say with open response dot, we'll store this to the JSON file. We want to write the file stream as JSON file, and we simply say JSON file write and response.text. So this is kind of it, and now just run this one more time, and now we'll see a file appearing here, which is our response JSON. Okay, here it is. It's pretty long basically, but we'll pre-print this kind of stuff right in a moment. So let's just close our JSON file for a moment. So we don't need basically to just pass like this. So we don't need to make requests now. Also, we don't need to run our crawler process. So it would be just at the moment we would be simply so here I just say debug here. We'll be calling this parse method from the OLX scraper. So I can simply say OLX.parse, and I'm passing the OLX instance as the first argument because this self here. And here I will just specify the empty string at the moment because we'll be working with just the plain string. So now we can simply say, instead of writing the file, we want just to read the file here, and let's create the data variable of the string type here, and we can simply say for line in JSON file dot read, and we use just read, that's it. And here we simply say data plus equals line. So finally we want simply just try to print our data here. Okay, so just save, and now it won't be making any kind of request, and you see that this data just being retrieved already from the file. So from now on we can basically being able to store it just however we want basically. So this is pretty nice, but let's also import JSON module to make it possible to print our data. So in order to do that, first we actually need to convert our data to the Python dictionary. So we will simply say, now to do this we say JSON.loads and then data itself, and now let's just try to print our data like this. Okay, now just change the type, and in order to actually print this we can simply say JSON dot dumps. So now we can convert in this data back to string type, but in this case we can specify the custom indentation equals to 2 spaces, and here we can already see our response in this sort of a pretty manner. But exploring all the stuff would take too much time basically, so the way we're supposed to go would be slightly bit different. So I just go back to this preview stuff and start from the very beginning. So the very first key of interest in this particular response is the data, which consists of all the 20 elements we're looking for. So first, let's actually extract these kind of keys. So we need, so by saying extract, I mean just simply basically to loop over those. So here we can simply say that basically for data, and we specify the data key. I'm sorry, for item in data and specifying the data key. Let's simply just try to print our item first, and as far, okay, so probably can use this JSON dumps again. Okay. Dumps and item, and again indentation, indent equals to 2 spaces like this. So yeah, seems, well, they're still a little bit too big, but now we're looping over all of these guys, and here within every single of the element we actually need to extract data for our particular item. So we'll be just saying like item and title and so on, item description. Okay, so let's try to kickstart with the title and the description. So here I'll create now the items, well, let's call this, I don't know, like property, well, okay, just let's call them items, maybe not the best ever, maybe just probably call them offer, for offer in data, and here we'll be extracting our items. So here we say the title, and it would be equal to offer and title like this. And well, just before proceeding, let me just quickly check that out as well. So simply say print JSON dump. So here we can extracting only that data that we need, instead of dealing with the entire data set in the API that is used to render all the stuff on the website, on the OLX itself, basically. So we don't really need that at the moment. So we just need a couple of things to consider, and that's it. So let's basically see what we got here. Okay, so it seems like, okay, home for sale. Okay, seems like it's titles basically. Premium quality, modern, auspicious. Yeah, seems like it's all the titles. Okay, so now we can basically move on. So here we say description, and we use offer and description as well. So let's just try and run this again. Cool, got our description. So let's move on. Basically, what else we're supposed to see here? So now let's try to extract this kind of bedrooms related data. So it's called locations resolved, and then within the locations resolved we're having main info. Okay, so let's try and extract that. So let's call this features, and saying offer locations, what was there, resolved. Okay, resolved, and within that kind of stuff we're supposed to, it's kind of nested dictionary. So here we want to see the main info, basically like this. So let's have a look. Okay, oh, there is, so I did spell it up slightly wrong apparently. It says like locations resolved. Locations resolved. Well, strange. Okay. Okay, I've just realized that there is the underscore instead of the dash, so okay, and from this kind of guy, okay, so but hold on a sec, no, so we don't really, well, probably we could have need this to extract the address, maybe just the location itself, so yeah, not the main features. Okay, so that's basically, we call this location in this case, location, and we will be using so country name, okay, so country name, how is that, country name, and then plus admin level 1 name, this kind of stuff, so just copy, and then just simply saying okay. Admin level 3, okay, and finally sublocality level name 1, this one, and save. So let's basically try to check that out, what we got here. Okay, so probably need to add some separators, so, or how basically they do this. Okay, let's maybe put a comma there, so plus, so it's having this nice little commas, paste, okay, India, Karnataka, Bengaluru, Uttarahalli. Okay, I'm sorry guys for my pronunciation, I have no idea how to pronounce that correctly, but just to give it the case. Also, I'm sorry if I did something weird regarding the Indian locations, because I have no idea about those as well. So I'm just trying to show the example of how to extract data over the API. I'm not claiming this data to be you know, like kind of precise or accurate, so maybe I just look into the wrong place, so I'm sorry for that, but it's not really the point regarding this tutorial. So I just want to say, I just want to show you how to basically make use of the provided APIs. So, and here finally we will say the features, and we'll basically use the offer and main info here, so like this. I hope I spelled main info correctly. Okay, seems like it is. So here is the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and the square feet, and the square fits as well. So this is pretty nice. Okay, so what else basically we have here? So we have the title, description, so we also need the date and the price. So let's have a look where those basically kind of located there. So what do we need? Created at publish. Well, probably let's take this kind of publish date. So yeah, let's kind of take this publish date basically. So I can simply say date and offer published date. Okay, so again the wrong key number, the wrong key. Publish, not the published, but publish. Okay. Oh my god, what's wrong? Publish date. Hold on. Okay, let's basically use this display date, which is probably a little bit more accurate. So just copy this and try trying to use the display data instead. Okay, so this is much better now at the moment. So we have our display dates, and the very last but not least thing to consider here is actually to make use of the price. So we say price and currently a value and display like this. So let's try this. So I say simply price here and offer so again price and value. Let's have a look what is here. Okay, so we need the display. Okay, so here is our price basically. Okay, great, this is really great. So let's try to check that out. So we have the title, description, location, features, date, price. This is kind of it. Okay, so now now we have a couple more things to consider here. So the very first one would probably to specify the logic of storing this stuff to the CSV file, and the other would be to handle the pagination itself. And now, like regarding storing to the CSV file, if you just specify the scrape specific things like, like custom settings and feed format, feed URI, etc., it would take some extra work to get rid of column names every time he hits the new page. So just in order to avoid that sort of behavior, I think that would be a far better and straightforward way just to store every single item just as soon as we hit it, and that's kind of it. So just within this loop, and here we can simply say with open and how we call this file. So let's call this results.csv, sorry, and also let's basically import the CSV module here. Okay, so we want to write the file string as CSV file, and now we need to create a writer that would be equals to CSV dot, and we're supposed to use what is known as dict writer or dictionary writer. So the reason for doing that is because the type of the item we have, this is basically a row in our table, it's the type of Python dictionary. So that's the reason why we're using this dictionary writer here. So the first argument would be the CSV file stream itself, and the second we need to provide the field names, and the field names, so in order to get those we need just this title, location, description, location, blah blah, all this stuff. So we can simply say items dot keys, and this is the standard Python method to return a list of all the available keys within the Python dictionary. So just bearing that in mind, and here we simply say writer dot write row and our items here. So this is kind of it. And now if I run this again, it should have output the CSV file in return. So here is our CSV file. Okay, so it's a little bit strange why it's so weird. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I've just realized, so it just overwrites all the stuff. We need, instead of writing a file stream, we need of course to use this A, which stands for append in the file stream. So in this case, I'm really sorry for this. So in this case, we'll have the CSV file. So now load. Okay, so now it has far more data, but I have no idea why the format is such a weird. Well, probably this is because the line wrapping or something. So let me just quickly view this in the LibreOffice just to get an idea of how exactly this table looks like. Okay. Yes, it's a little bit of a crap, so, but okay, so it has the features, the date, and the price seems to be just pretty nice. So what's wrong with, oh, so this is probably the description. Okay. Oh, okay, so I just need to get rid of this kind of in the description of the new line fits. Probably that's the reason. So when we're dealing with the description, let's say first let's actually strip it and then replace all the new line characters with spaces. I'm just trying to run this one more time. Okay. Okay, still the same. Okay. Okay, so it seems like replacing new lines with spaces is just enough. I don't know, it's just something went wrong in my computer. I'm not sure. Just I did this stuff, but the file wasn't really reloaded. So let me just show you this one more time. So if I just run the script and go to the results and reload, then here you see that basically we have all our stuff more like table like okay, just close. Table like format. So let's have a look at the results again. Now it should be more look like what we actually want it to be. Yeah. So here we have titles. Okay. And okay. Okay, prices. Yeah, probably just in order to add one more little thing here, so we can actually add the column names in an easy way. So in order to do that, just, well, where can we do this? So, well, basically we can do this within the init method, which is this pretty standard for Python in general. So def init, and it takes self instance, yeah, and here we can simply say that with open results.csv, and this time we 100% want to actually write the file stream as CSV file here, and can simply say, oh, but okay, just we don't need this, we don't have this yet. Okay, let's maybe let me think. Okay, so maybe just first we need to get them somehow, so we can simply here just can print items dot keys, just to avoid actually typing it by hands. And okay, so here they are: title, description, location, features, price. Copy and CSV file dot write, and in CSV, okay, we need the new line character at the very end, just the comma separators with no spaces there, and yeah, this is kind of it. Save. But of course, before, just when we're doing only the parse method, this init won't be really invoked, so we just need to go now to our production version. So we just get rid of this stuff. Now we will be making our request basically, and so we're saying that so data was equal JSON loads and our data. So in this case, this would be equals JSON loads response Okay, now just to leave this as it was here, just get rid of this source in the data from the file and simply say data equals response.text. Okay. So, okay, now probably let's try to print our items. So I say JSON dumps and items indentation equals to 2 spaces, and also we'll be writing this stuff. And okay, don't need debug anymore, so I can simply just okay. Let's run this one more time. Okay, so now we did the request. Okay, so response is not defined. I'm sorry, it's not response, it's just res. Okay. Now let's have a look at the CSV. Okay, so the CSV, yeah, has been updated, and also, yeah, so after the end of the session, it was rewritten with the new results. Okay, so this is just pretty nice. Okay, so basically one last thing to consider here is actually to manage our pagination. So we can simply say here that for page in range from 0 to whatever amount of pages we're supposed to scrape. So I'll specify 5 here, so we'll be scraping basically kind of 4 pages, data from 4 pages, and here page equals plus stringify and the page itself like this. So, well, this is kind of it. I hope this should have kind of worked. So let's try this one more time. Okay, now it crawls. So was it so fast really? Well, as far as it's asynchronous, this is possible. Okay, so we have title, description, location, features, date, price, and all this stuff, and lots of data here. Okay, yeah, hundreds. So it seems like to be the truth here. So let's just try to open this. Oh, sorry. Let's just try to open this in LibreOffice one more time, just to make sure. Okay, so it seems like we did successfully extract our data out of the OLX API. So all the cells seems to be just pretty perfect. So this is kind of it for this video, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something interesting regarding how to extract data, not by using the CSS or XPath selectors, but just directly from the API. So I've been showing this before in some of my previous videos, but I never actually shown you how to extract data from the complicated API like this one. So just to bear that in mind. So there are many cases when this sort of stuff might be really useful and handy for you guys. Okay, so this is it for this video. Until next time, and take care.